November 4th, 2025, election night in New York City. The future of 8 million people is up for grabs. Will it be the dawn of a new political era? Or are the old bosses still in charge in the Big Apple? You're about to find out, thanks to New York City's #1 worker-owned news outlet. That's right, this is Hellgate Election Night live with Jesse Edwards, Adlin Jackson, Nick Pinto, and Chris Robbins, featuring your hosts Max Rivlin Nadler and Katie Wade, streaming live from Bushwick's Life World and all across New York City. Your 2025 election night coverage starts right now.
Hello, and welcome to Hellgate's election night coverage of New York City's mayoral race, live from where else? New York. I'm Katie Way.
And I'm Max Rivlin Nadler. And thank you to the legendary Rich Lamb of WCBS fame for that wonderful intro. After waiting online all day to cast our votes, we are coming to you live from Life World in Bushwick, while 4 of our finest reporters are out in the field tonight. Chris Robbins is at Zohran Mamdani's election night party at the Brooklyn Paramount. Nick Pinto is surviving, if not thriving, at Andrew Cuomo's election night party at the Ziegfeld Ballroom in, where else? Midtown Manhattan. Jesse Edwards is in her finest beret at Curtis Sliwa's election night party at the Arte Cafe in the Upper West Side. Who says that Curtis doesn't have taste? He's at the Arte Cafe. And Adlin Jackson is taking Steinway Street by storm at the People's Election Night Watch Party and at Mocha & Co. in Astoria. They'll be reading the room and pulling on guests to discuss the conclusion of an absolutely thrilling and frankly insanely tiring 12 months of local politics.
Ugh, FOMO. And just in case you're new here, Hellgate is a local, worker-owned, subscriber-funded news outlet that covers all things New York City, but right now, especially this fucking mayoral race. And this is our second ever election night live stream. Max, do you remember June?
Yeah, like 5 months and 5 million years ago. Am I right? So the last time we were at Life World, which you may remember, we had the distinct pleasure of witnessing an upset. After months of polls to the contrary, Zohran Mamdani surged to the front of the Democratic primary and handily secured the nomination, leaving former frontrunner and former governor Andrew Cuomo in the dust and scrambling to mount a more convincing run as an independent after kind of half-assing his way through a lackluster campaign the first time around. That decision of his was fucking nuts.
So besides, getting really drunk tonight and watching our live stream, what else did New Yorkers do with their election day?
All right, so in addition to the mayor, obviously New Yorkers are going to be casting their votes for the next public advocate and comptroller, as well as their next borough presidents and city council members. But only a few of those races are competitive. A lot of those were already pretty much decided during the primary.
Oh, yeah. And there were also those 6 super dense ballot initiatives that nobody really understood. How'd you end up voting on those, by the way?
I will never, ever tell, just like Zohran Mamdani before today.
Okay, whatever. So we'll be catching up with our correspondents in the field as they mix and mingle. And we will also, I know everyone was waiting for this with bated breath, hear from political analyst and writer Michael Lang.
To God.
Yeah, the absolute breakout star and our total and complete guy of the first election night live stream, who will be giving us his hot takes all night long. Ow, ow, ow.
Can't touch those takes. So just to set the stage here, a lot has happened since June. But maybe what's most notable is what didn't happen, which is that Zohran Mamdani did not lose his lead in the polls.
It probably, if I had to guess, was that Pink Panthers concert he went to that helped him stick the landing.
Yeah, almost assuredly. Right, no, but seriously, in spite of the city's business class having a Category 5 tantrum in the wake of Mamdani's primary victory and literally burning piles of money on Eric Adams's defunct campaign, bless your heart, Brock Pierce. Andrew Cuomo's barely breathing one, they were like, here's a bunch of money, take it. If the numbers hold, Mamdani will be the victor at the end of the 2025 mayoral election. But of course, especially given how the polls kind of had June all wrong. We'll have to see what happens live. So you have to keep watching.
Crazy that even the 11th hour strategy of naked and virulent Islamophobia wasn't enough to push Cuomo over the edge.
Yeah, Cuomo. Oh, right. I also forgot about Curtis Sliwa.
Curtis, congratulations on making it to Election Day.
Incredible. A lot of people were honestly trying to get out of you. You know, they were trying to take you out, Curtis, and we salute you sticking in. Even if Mamdani's opponents sometimes kind of made it pretty easy for him, thanks to their extremely hefty personal baggage and total lack of positive policy vision, it wasn't all smooth sailing for Mamdani, right? Especially because of how long it took for his fellow Democrats to even come around and endorse him.
It's like when your roommate RSVPs maybe to a party that you're throwing at your house. It's just rude. But now, at the end of it all, Governor Hochul, Attorney General Tish James, Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins, Assembly Speaker Carl Hastie, and even House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, Hakeem, hope you're enjoying Arlington, Virginia, have all rubber-stamped Mamdani. But is that going to be convincing enough for voters, Max?
I mean, are endorsements even convincing anymore? Does anybody believe this stuff?
Not as convincing as amazing Instagram reels.
That's where the real power is, social media. Mamdani has certainly been doing everything he can to make himself a palatable candidate for everyone whose brain hasn't been completely melted down by Newsmax or Truth Social. In spite of some really ugly attacks against him by his opponents in the race, and some pretty intense scrutiny from the media, ourselves included, Mamdani seems like he really tried not to make too much news for himself between June and November for like obvious reasons. Don't fuck it up.
Not even news about going to dinner with his wife.
Oh my God.
But seriously, one of the topics that Mamdani has had to talk about again and again, which he didn't get as much grief about during the primary campaign, was his stance on and tweets about policing. Specifically, is the NYPD racist? In June 2020, Mamdani said yes. In October 2025, he said no.
What changed? What happened? We were curious to know. Because not only that, during the second mayoral debate, Mamdani also revealed that he intends to keep Jessica Tisch as the NYPD commissioner, a move that disappointed many members of his base and seems like it could be pretty antithetical to his public safety agenda.
Yeah, Jesse, criminal summons for cycling offenses Tisch wouldn't be my pick for NYPD commissioner, but then again, I'm not running for mayor.
Katie, I think you should run for mayor.
Yeah.
2029.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
But we don't want to focus exclusively on Mamdani because, frankly, when it comes to Andrew Cuomo and Curtis Sliwa, like, you got to really look for the material, right? Cuomo did manage to secure the endorsement of one New York Democrat.
Nice.
Yeah, but unfortunately for him, that Democrat was Eric Adams.
Mm.
Yeah, and he made his endorsement really racist. Yeah, connecting Mamdani's electoral success to the rise of Islamic extremism in Europe. Very normal at all times, Eric Adams.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah.
But otherwise, Cuomo's campaign team never really managed to position himself as anything other than, I am not Zohran Mamdani.
It's almost like building your career off of your family name means that you never really take the time to develop an identity of your own. Meanwhile, Sliwa's biggest struggle has been staying in the race. His boss told him to drop out. The city's conservatives have been begging him to quit. He lost the Trump endorsement. He claims he's been literally offered money to bow out, but he is absolutely 100% still in it and honestly polling pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. What if he wins and he makes all non-beret headgear illegal?
Whew, that's the type of beret law I could get down with.
Really?
You know, yeah. Just a little guardian angel for headwear.
Oh my God.
We salute you, Curtis. And we salute that you stayed in this race through it all. Then, this is all really will be the will of the people if Curtis Sliwa becomes mayor. All right, so we're going to kick it to our first break of the night, but we want to tell you a little bit more about Hellgate. Hellgate is a worker-owned news outlet, member-supported, subscriber-funded, and worker-owned. We get to be able to do really cool productions like this because you guys subscribe to us. Right now, we have almost 10,000 subscribers in New York. Let's get that number up. We
Yes.
also have a tip jar running tonight. You can find both of those at hellgatenyc.com/membership. That's for subscriptions, or /tip-jar. That's for giving us some money. So, I don't know, we could get grills.
Yeah,
Something like that?
yeah. I need another pair of toe shoes. If you know, you know.
All right, enough about that. We will not mention toe shoes again on this broadcast. We'll see you right after this break.
Nonchalance turns me off. I'm the most chalant person you'll ever meet. I'm a yearner. I'm a lover girl. And I have not met a man that is a yearner and a lover boy yet. My name is Avery. I'm originally from Michigan. Go Blue, I guess. I think I know what I want. A relationship, but haven't gotten there yet. Oh my god, what's the guy from that Disney movie with the glasses? They're underwater. I forget his name. He just has like kind of an erratic energy, I think. But he's also super smart. I see myself in that. It would probably be like a dark chocolate cherry chip. Cherry for like the sweetness, the passion. It's very smooth. Then you get the little like bite of like bitterness and kind of like directness. I'm like the funniest person alive. So someone who can match my sense of humor and not get insecure that I will be the funniest person in the room. That's a big one. Reciprocates the level of regardfulness and like giving that I am putting into the connection, and can also match my like banter on like the level of intellect and chalant. So if that's you and you're between the ages of 26 and 22, we'll get along.
Hey, I'm Scott Lynch. I'm hungry all the time, and I never know where in New York City I'm going to be. So every week I check out a new restaurant, I write about it, and add it to Hellgate's $20 dinner map. I love New York City so much. I love checking out both brand new and totally legendary restaurants all over town, and I love sharing my favorite spots with all my friends here on Hellgate. Best city in the world, baby.
So wherever you are, if you're looking for a place with really good food and then friendly people for a price that's nice, check out the $20 dinner map, only on Hellgate.
Max Rivlin Nadler here with Katie Way, and we are Hellgate Live on election night.
And if you like what you see here tonight, that is a team of independent journalists, along with our business team and a scrappy but trusty crew of collaborators. Subscribe to Hellgate at hellgatenyc.com/membership. We are worker-owned, subscriber-funded, and we're doing cool new shit like this all the time. And if you have any opinions about the live stream, hit us up on Instagram, Blue Sky, the dreaded X, or even the YouTube comment section. Already seeing you guys in there. Appreciate it. And if you're at a watch party right now, whether you are, shoulder to shoulder with people at a bar or even hosting some cute stuff at home, please post a photo and tag us. We would like to see it.
We want to see it. And if you have negative comments about this live stream, do not leave them. Think about what you're saying first, because we're very sensitive.
We'll read that and we'll be upset at home.
No.
So.
Speaking of sensitivities and opinions, let's look at how many people have already voted during the 10 days of early voting that preceded the election. So that ran from Saturday, the 25th, all the way through to the day before yesterday, which was the 2nd. A lot of people voted. Right now, we're taking a look at the map. As you can see, ding, 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 the winner, Brooklyn.
Wow, no
Brooklyn,
sleep till voting.
Yeah, right? They were like, I'm going to get up and I'm going to early vote. And then, once our little flying Hellgate graphic, we've kind of got control of this guy. We're also
He's got a
looking
mind of his own.
we have Queens also way up there with the early voting. We have, obviously, I think concerning to the Cuomo campaign was lagging vote totals over in the Bronx and Staten Island. And generally speaking, the Mamdani campaign was feeling really good where early voting ended. The early days were a bit chaotic, but the end, it finished strong.
Because there was some concern initially, Max, if I can recall correctly, about the demographics for early voting. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so during the first 2 days of early voting, over 55 voters were the majority of people who came on out.
More than 55.
Yeah, I know. Who are these people? And they kind of put a scare into the Mamdani campaign that was like, oh, I wonder if this is how the rest of the voters are going to be like. Well, as the rest of the week bled on with a kind of nosedive during the torrential downpour on Thursday, youth voters caught up. So yeah, we see the numbers again here. Staten Island and the Bronx put together don't even come close to Queens, and Brooklyn and Manhattan, where Mamdani performed the strongest during the primaries.
Gotcha. And Max, who historically early votes? What does that typically look like?
Let's go to Chris in the next moment.
The people that early vote are people who make plans, but nobody at Hellgate really makes any plans. And we all pretty much voted today, I'm pretty sure. Nobody got the cool sticker, right?
No, but you know what? That's democracy in action. And speaking of action, I think it's time to check in on Chris Robbins, who is kicking it at Mamdani's absolutely slammed Brooklyn Paramount watch party. Welcome to election night, and welcome to Chris. How's it going? Oh, it looks nice in there.
Yeah, wow.
Hey Max, hey Katie.
Swanky looking crowd.
Yeah,
Chris.
geez, look at that.
Everyone here is mostly a journalist. Supporters have yet to file in. I gotta say, it did take a good 30 minutes for us to get in. So if Mamdani runs his administration like he runs this line outside, we might be in trouble. But yeah, so we're filling in. It's just reporters here.
And what was it like for you out in the field today, Chris, when you were talking to voters, watching Andrew Cuomo vote, if I recall correctly?
Yeah, he pulled up his white Bronco, 1996 Ford Bronco.
Weird car. Interesting. Why does he?
I know. It's such a strange. It really sticks out like a sore thumb.
Who else has that car besides OJ?
If the car doesn't fit, yeah.
It was deeply weird. Yeah. So he voted in Midtown East. He gave his sort of closing message, which is like, the polls are trending my way. Don't worry, I'm gonna pull this out. Immediately hit with an avalanche of questions about the Trump endorsement he received in the last 24 hours. His line was like, "Oh, he's not endorsing me. He just hates Mamdani." And it's like, well, that might be true, but Trump also literally said, "You must vote for him, Andrew Cuomo." So didn't really have much to say about that. But yeah, and then got in his Bronco and sped off. And then I spoke to some
down the freeway, as the helicopters are above him.
And by sped off, I mean went 30 feet and hit a red light immediately. Not much speeding to do in Midtown East. And then that is a Cuomo stronghold. It's where he won by 12 percentage points during the primary. So I talked to some voters there. They were predominantly Cuomo voters. I spoke to some Mamdani supporters, but like the age split is crazy. It's like everyone voting for Cuomo was in their 70s or 80s. Everyone voting for Mamdani were in their 20s and 30s. And then I had an interesting time in the Upper West Side where I was outside. It was actually a precinct near Curtis Sliwa's election night party tonight on 73rd Street. And I talked to some very conspiratorially minded Cuomo voters who didn't want to be quoted, but they talked about how the DJ's just kicking in here. Sorry about that, folks.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, you sound
I love
great.
music. So this is an amazing
sorry,
treat.
just gotta and one Mamdani supporter, two Mamdani supporters on the Upper West Side. So I don't know. I got a nice taste of Manhattan voting today.
Gotcha.
Sweet.
All right, Chris, we're gonna let the party fill out a little bit and let you kind of
Please.
tear up the dance floor. But
Yeah.
great to hear from you. More soon.
Get bopping.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much. Starting the night off right, we are going to take it shortly over to the other competitive person in this race, although who knows where Sliwa is going to go.
Yeah, let's
not count out
let's
Curtis
not get
Sliwa.
too cocky.
We are going to go.
Many have made that mistake. Many prominent families,
We are going to go to our own Nick Pinto, who is in the Ziegfeld Ballroom in Midtown at the Cuomo campaign party. I'm sure this is probably insanely lit. Cannot wait to hear about it.
I can't believe they let him in.
Oh my God, there's Nick. They let him back in.
They let in the riffraff.
All right.
Hey guys.
Hey, Nick, how is the scene?
Until a minute ago, I was gonna use the word sepulchral. It was pretty down tempo. And those of you who remember our primary night at Cuomo headquarters, it was sort of a similar lack of buzz. But in fairness, that's because the people who aren't journalists haven't really arrived yet. They're only starting to filter in, and so that's we'll give them a shot. It may yet get lively.
All of these election parties just seem to be a lot of media folks, us getting special treatment. Nick, you were out and about today. Talk a little bit about what you saw in Brooklyn as you reported today.
Yeah, I went down the length of Coney Island Avenue today. I started in very Zohran-friendly territory in Kensington and talked to a lot of voters who are really, really feeling Zohran and are excited about that. But I talked to a couple of people who are like so excited that they're already anticipating the come down in a way that is freaking them out, which fair enough. And then I carried on down into Midwood, which was not friendly to Zohran at all. I spoke to a lot of people who were extremely freaked out by their perception of his position on Israel. And then I went all the way down to Manhattan Beach on sort of the east side of Coney Island, where I was expecting to find a lot of Sliwa voters. And, the Cuomo campaign and Trump's messaging that a vote for Sliwa is a vote for Mamdani seems to have penetrated. I talked to a ton of people who were planning on, who would liked to have voted for Sliwa, but instead voted for Cuomo.
Yeah, that's something we're definitely going to keep an eye on throughout the night. I met several people who said that they were Republicans but voting for Cuomo just to stave off a Mamdani mayoralty. Nick, hold it down there. Stay safe. Stay strong. We're going to check back in with you later tonight.
Talk to you soon.
All right, everybody. We are going to take a quick break, another commercial break, and then we will be back with more of the Hellgate election night live stream. We are excited to be here, and we'll see you soon.
I'm single because, like most women in New York City, we have pretty good bullshit meters. I'm looking for someone who's communicative, someone who's funny, someone who's passionate about their interests, specifically if it's something that I'm not that knowledgeable about, like the geology of the Appalachian Mountains. Great, excellent. I didn't know anything about that. I love that I'm learning something from you. 100% it's the fox from Robin Hood, the first anti-billionaire, anti-capitalist cartoon character in the Disney canon. Hot. Deal breakers, conservative politics probably is one, but currently at the moment, anyone who says they're apolitical. I mean, it used to be you would say D&D would be one of those hobbies. I love playing D&D. I feel like that's now kind of coming into the zeitgeist a little bit. So I wouldn't say that that's like a guilty pleasure hobby anymore. A hobby that I have that I would like to enter the zeitgeist that it isn't yet is contra dancing. It's kind of like line dancing, square dancing. If you've ever been to Malai on Cobble Hill, they have a great passion fruit cilantro ice cream. You gotta try it, and if you like it, it's your favorite ice cream. So yeah, passion fruit cilantro. Also, if Malai sees this, please bring that ice cream flavor back.
Hey, I'm Scott Lynch. I'm hungry all the time, and I never know where in New York City I'm going to be. So every week I check out a new restaurant, I write about it, and add it to Hellgate's $20 dinner map. I love New York City so much. I love checking out both brand new and totally legendary restaurants all over town. And I love sharing my favorite spots with all my friends here on Hellgate. Best city in the world, baby.
So wherever you are, if you're looking for a place with really good food and then friendly people for a price that's nice, check out the $20 dinner map, only on Hellgate.
is Katie Way, and I'm here with Max Rivlin Nadler, and we are back with the Hellgate Election Night live stream. We hope you enjoyed that little breather, because now we are back to hot, fresh, high-octane news. We are eyeballing these results, and we are hitting you with even more of our reporters in the field, just chatting them up. And speaking of having a good chat, joining me here now is Jesse Edwards from Curtis Sliwa's Election Night Watch Party.
Wow.
Hey guys.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Jesse.
Oh God.
That beret is looking good.
Thank you very much. I had to look the part. So yes, we're here on the Upper West Side at Curtis Sliwa's watch party. We've decided to just dump me right in the middle of the action, so sorry if there are people pushing past me. I just think it makes it a bit more dynamic. We are waiting for Curtis Sliwa to arrive. He's not here yet, but we're told by his sister Maria that we are expecting him any moment now. We're definitely going to try and grab an interview with him. But it's been a fun vibe so far. There's a ton of young Republicans here. There's been a lot of shots at the bar, chants of Sliwa, Sliwa. And Paige and I are here just trying to spot some celebrities to grab you. Oh, there's some original Guardian Angels here. Who I'm
Wow.
definitely going to try and chat with a little bit later.
Yeah, please. I need to be, I think all of us, need to be regaled with those tales. Jesse, one question just at the top for you. Can you please get me a t-shirt? I'm seeing that there are t-shirts.
All right.
All right. She got bumped one more time, which is exactly the kind of thing, perhaps that I would expect at a Curtis Sliwa election night party. Petite brunette getting pushed around.
We have her back.
Oh, okay,
You're
Jesse.
back, Jesse, and you're in beautiful HD now.
Oh my goodness, this is even. Do you have a second beret? Because we
Yeah.
were seeing a second beret.
How many berets did you come with?
Well, stay tuned, and you're going to see a whole variety of berets. Actually, I have a few to show you.
And Jesse, wondering what you kind of saw in the field today pre-Sliwa, because you were out in Staten Island, which I imagine was a great warm-up for what's happening right now.
Yeah, it was. So don't ever say that Hellgate does not cover Staten Island, because I was out there in the field today. I was at multiple different polling locations. I was speaking with Staten Islanders about how they were voting today. So I was in kind of the southeast section of Staten Island, which is a real Republican enclave. So these are people who voted, 3 out of 4 people in this area voted for Curtis Sliwa to be mayor in 2021. He was up against Eric Adams. So when I was going out there today, I was thinking, hey, I'm going to meet a bunch of hardcore Sliwa fans, and I can't wait to do this before I hit the party tonight. What was surprising, though, is of about the dozen voters that I spoke with, I only found 2 that were voting for Curtis Sliwa.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and I have to tell you, it's not because they don't love him. I actually spoke with a woman who is formerly from the USSR. She said she desperately wanted to vote for Sliwa, but she heard Trump's message that a vote for Sliwa was a wasted vote. And so she begrudgingly voted for Cuomo today. I also spoke with a woman who had voted for Donald Trump in the most recent presidential elections, and she had actually changed her vote. She was voting for Mamdani today, and I thought that was really interesting. She was really pissed off about what's happening with the pause on Snap, and she basically said that anyone who is against Trump, she would vote for. So she was casting her vote for Mamdani. So there are a few people switching up their votes today, actually.
Wow, the rare critically thinking voter. You don't see that all the time. You really are.
Staten Island is full of them.
I love Staten Island. Fuck it, whatever.
Oh my God.
So what are
It's
you,
beautiful out there.
besides speaking with a bona fide guardian angel, Jesse, what are you most looking forward to tonight? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I gotta say, no shade to Brad Lander, but the food here is so much better at the Lander party.
Oh my
I don't
goodness.
know.
Shade.
There's like, yeah, a little bit of shade. There's pizza. There's meatballs.
Oh, man.
Like
The two food
there's
groups.
calamari.
Wait,
So no,
okay.
but in all seriousness, apart from that, what I'm really, really, really hoping for tonight is to get an interview with the man, the legend himself, Curtis Sliwa. I'm also going to play a little bit of trivia with some of his fans here if we get a chance. So stay tuned, and we're gonna test people's knowledge. Do they really know Curtis Sliwa?
All right. Thank you, Jesse. We're going to let you enjoy what sounds like a really amazing spread and take it back to the studio. Talk to you soon.
Talk soon. Bye.
Wow, that makes me feel like
Hungry.
I'm not only hungry, but that I am missing out on like the beret party of the summer. The amount of berets that were floating behind Jesse's own beret was like incredible. God, I fucking love New York City. We're so fucking weird. Anyway, great news, because we have Adlin Jackson coming up right now. I want to know more of what Adlin is up to. He is over in Astoria, possibly for a much more cheery, or at least at the very least, like less beret heavy atmosphere. He's over at Mocha and Co. in Astoria on Steinway Street. Adlin, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Max. This is either going to be a good night or the final straw for many of us. I'm at Mocha and Co. at a very crowded election party. As you can see, it's a Yemeni-owned cafe in Astoria. When you think of Zohran Mamdani's base, I'm at a party that's being thrown by the Muslim Democratic Club of New York, Africans for Zohran, and a cluster of other kind of political advocacy organizations that support Mamdani. And when you think of the historic coalition that Mamdani has built, you think of places like this. And yeah, that's where I'm reporting to you live from tonight. How are things going over there?
They're good. They're normal. We're hanging out in the studio. It's me, it's Katie. You know what's up. We've talked to all of our friends so far tonight.
Yeah, you know the vibe.
Adlin, you went around and you kicked off our reporting this morning on the live blog in Flatbush talking to voters. What was that like?
So in the Democratic primary, as you go east on Flatbush, you get to districts that swung harder and harder for Cuomo, whereas the western part of Flatbush is more Mamdani friendly. And so I tried to go to East Flatbush to talk to some Cuomo voters, but I couldn't find any, and I coined the term Cuomo shame, because I know that they're out there, but they just did not want to say that they voted for Cuomo, whereas everyone that wanted to tell me about their vote either voted for Mamdani, or in one case I talked to a 23-year-old CUNY math major who voted for Curtis Sliwa, and that was by far the most interesting interaction I had today. No offense to anyone else, especially you guys, who I love.
Adlin, what are you looking for at this watch party? Who are you looking forward to speaking with? And really, what does this kind of event represent for the people of Astoria, which is the assembly district that Mamdani represents, and ultimately, where he started his political career?
I want to talk to people who feel politically represented for perhaps the first time in living memory or even history. That's what I'm trying to get out of talking to people this evening. I think tonight, as I said, is a night that will either go down in history as a turning point politically, where a lot of people who don't feel like their voices are often heard will feel like they are represented, or it will be the very last straw.
What do you mean by that, the very last straw? What's going to happen if,
I just mean psychically.
Because it's been bad
Don't
vibes.
worry.
It's been bad vibes the past few years when it comes to electoral politics. I think, we remember last year at this time, Hellgate had the misfortune of holding a election night watch party that we thought maybe the presidential election was going to turn out differently, and ultimately compare the vibes of that night at Transpicos to what you're feeling right now in that restaurant.
Well, I wasn't there at Transpicos that night. I was at a really, really different party with a different vibe to both that party and this one. This one, I can say people are about as happy as they were at the election party that I went to. And perhaps even by the end of the night, they might even be happier.
Yeah. Just for background, Adlin, I believe, was at Sovereign House, which no longer exists, a weird conservative, Nazi-adjacent party house in Lower Manhattan. So we're sending, who says that, Hellgate reporters don't have range? We're happy to send Adlin everywhere. Adlin, what was your favorite part of covering this election? Because you had some cool opportunities. You obviously got to be up close with John Catsimatidis. You also went clubbing with Zohran Mamdani this weekend.
Yeah, I got to go to a couple clubs with Mamdani. I got to see the way that people react to him. As I wrote in the blog, it can only really be compared to Beatlemania. I think if I was there with Brad Pitt in Bushwick, it would get a more muted reaction. Maybe Timothy Chalamet, but even then.
even then, when it comes to vibes, etc., would you say people are nervous right now, hesitant, or just kind of waiting to explode?
I think people are mostly just trying to find a place to stand.
All right, Adlin, on that note, we'll let you go. We will be checking back in with you after results begin to come out.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
all right, back in the studio.
Max, I know how I'm feeling, and how I'm feeling is that conversation with Adlin made me want a pistachio latte so bad.
All right, so we are going to go back now to the Zohran Mamdani headquarters, where we're going to be speaking with Chris Robbins at the Brooklyn Paramount. Chris, how's it going? Have things gotten more lively?
A little bit. I would say the journalist to real human being ratio is still 100 to 1. And I was scampering around trying to find someone who's not a reporter to interview. Senator Mike Gianaris, Queens Assistant Majority Leader, is basically the only non-reporter in this room, and he's on 15 different other interviews that aren't Hellgate, so he's made a powerful enemy tonight. But yeah, that's what's going on here at Brooklyn Paramount.
Got it. Well, when do you think? Do you have any idea of when people are going to start filtering in? Are you're just gonna keep?
I mean, yeah, security is super tight, understandably, but polls close pretty soon. So I honestly don't know what the holdup is. It's a pretty big space. There's still plenty of room in here, and yeah, I wish I had more fun things to report on the scene here. It's a beautiful room.
Yeah, it looks really
I've
nice
never been
in
here
there.
before. A great place to check out the Mars Volta or something.
Wow.
I don't know. I just saw I just looked at their calendar. What can I say?
Well, we'll leave you to scoop some pre-sale tickets. We're gonna take it back to the studio for now, but could be. Let's see Charlie XCX there or something. Who can say?
Deal.
All right. So we are now 10 minutes away from, 14 minutes away, sorry, 10 minutes away from being 4 minutes away from results coming out here at Election Day. We are going to, on top of the mayor's race, obviously, that's a big one, right? What did you say? That's
Max, I am always saying that is a huge one.
The mayor's race is number 1. But number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are the ballot propositions. That's called the transition, folks.
6 and 7.
And we are going to be talking a little bit about the ballot proposals right now.
Yeah.
Katie, you actually walked our readers through. We're going to start with number 1 and number 6. So what's number 1 all about?
What is number 1 all about? That was the only ballot proposal coming down from the state. The other 5 are city-based ballot proposals from the Charter Review Commission. Is that what
Yeah,
we call
that's
it, Max?
it.
That's
That's
what they
it.
call it.
Yeah.
Proposal number 1 was essentially about an Olympic sports facility and their right to build ski trails and other, facility stuff on state forest land.
Hilariously, something that they'd already done,
Yes,
right?
something that they already did. So it was kind of a retroactively like, we'll let it slide if you all donate. I think it was around 2,500 acres of land to Adirondack State Park. Yeah, I don't know. I don't, I mean, honestly, broadly, just to take it back a little bit, to these 6 ballot proposals, out of everything that I have talked to anyone I know about, this is the most confusing element of this entire race. I don't think I know any 2 people who voted the same way unless they voted all yes or all no. Everyone was kind of doing it random style. So I don't know whose sort of messaging failure that was, if all of this stuff was opaque on purpose. They don't want you to vote, stuff of that nature. But then to kind of take it down ballot, Max, you want to talk housing?
I'll talk housing.
You seem like you kind of want to talk housing.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
I'm always wanting to talk housing. All right, so
You love
ballot
that.
proposals number 2, 3, and 4 were pretty much the controversial ones here, which was being portrayed by some as a power grab by the mayor, as others a necessary set of steps to enable a mayor to actually build affordable housing, especially if the city council has more of a NIMBY tendency than, the mayor would like. So it was interesting that Eric Adams, his charter commission, was the one that cooked this up, but it's pretty much going to be, obviously he's not running for re-election, the next mayor that's going to be essentially in charge of implementing these and feeling empowered by them if this were to actually pass, which polling had number 2, 3, and 4 doing pretty well. But again, not without its controversy. We wrote, I thought Chris Robbins, who you saw before, hanging out, standing in line for some Mars Volta tickets, he wrote a great explainer about how the ballot proposals are really dividing even affordable housing advocates and the right or the left. You have people high up in the Mamdani campaign, his housing advisors, who are saying vote 2, 3, and 4. And then you have other people who have worked with those same people on tenant and affordable housing issues saying vote against it. And we know for the entire campaign, Zohran Mamdani refused to take an issue on ballot proposal 2, 3, and 4. And it's kind of a smart move, or at least a political move on his part, where if he's going to be mayor, the first thing he shouldn't do is piss off the city council by taking power nominally away from them. Of course, push finally came to shove today. He had to vote himself, and he, unlike some other people, maybe Chuck Schumer, actually told people how he voted. He voted in favor of ballot proposals 2, 3, and 4. So we'll see what happens there. Those are the most controversial ones and the one that's brought the most heat. Katie, do you want to take us quickly through number 5 and 6?
Sure. Some of my favorite of these 6 proposals. So proposal number 5 concerned digitizing the maps in New York City. Currently, there are 5 different offices in the 5 different boroughs that hold all of the maps for each borough, and that's just what our maps are. So a yes vote on proposal number 5 would digitize those maps and kind of consolidate the running and organization of the maps under the Department of City Planning. And a no vote, keep those maps old, so. But also at the same time, it's like, does the city Department of City Planning have, a way to digitize some of these ancient maps? We're talking like 200-year-old maps. You can't just be touching the maps and putting them in a copier, stuff like that. So, we'll see what happens. And then ballot proposal number 6 would move the election cycle to even year elections, which would match us up with the national election cycle, which means, you wouldn't get a fun on and off from us like this. So I don't know. It's too late. Everyone already voted, but.
Well, no, if you're still online, stay online.
Yeah.
But you know who's online to speak with us right now? We've got Adlin Jackson. He's back in Astoria. We maybe don't have Adlin Jackson, who's in Astoria. We are figuring out whether we have him.
Oh,
We
we've
are.
got-
Oh, you know what? You know
we've
who
got-
we have?
Who is it, man?
We got Nick Pinto, and
Wait.
he's over
Yes.
at. Yes, we love to see him.
Need to talk
he's
to
over at the
him.
Cuomo campaign. Nick, sir, what is up? Good to see you.
Oh, it's looking slammed
How's
in
it
there.
going, guys? Good
Hey,
to
man.
see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping to have someone to interview for you when you threw to me, but I don't, because they're really all of the people who are closely attached to the campaign are sequestered in this. You can't see it from this camera angle, but there's like a balcony over there from which they look down on us and do not deign to mingle for the most part. So instead, I thought I could just tell you a little bit about the mood. As you can see, it's picked up a little. People are circulating, and the other thing that I thought might amuse you is that in the bathroom of the Ziegfeld Ballroom, in the men's room specifically, this is it's a deluxe space. As you may be able to tell, there are like beautiful chandeliers, and the urinals in the men's room are outfitted with little video screens that display what you will, I guess. And this evening, they are displaying the Cuomo campaign logo. So you can, what that permits you to do is you can enjoy the logo, like while you're pissing.
What?
And
there
I
we
feel
go.
like,
we just pulled it.
That might be a lasting image of the campaign.
We just pulled it up on our screen right here, Nick. Incredible stuff. Have you? Sorry if this is getting too weird for the live stream. Have you experienced the urinal with the TV?
I'm not going to talk about that with you. No.
Lecherous Max.
All right. You said this might be fitting for the Cuomo campaign. If you were to describe, you were at the primary night, and then you've covered, obviously, his run through the general election. Were there any differences between his first go-around and his second go-around, or was this the same playbook as before?
Yeah, there were a couple of differences. After his disastrous primary loss, he really sort of pledged to run a more energetic campaign, to try harder, to make more appearances, to talk to more people. And he did do that. He met that low bar. The nature of those appearances was extremely different from for example, Mamdani appearances. He was not like sticking around after he made his remarks to glad hand. He was getting hustled back into a car and generally avoiding contact with the public and the press. The other major for in the general and the primary campaign was especially towards the end, the Cuomo campaign in the general election took a very dark, negative turn. The campaign itself, the PACs associated with it, some of his surrogates, all of them really leaned into a fear message around Mamdani. Whether it was fear mongering about whether Jews would be safe in New York under Mamdani, whether it was sort of threatening the rising tide of socialism, and so a real negative message from the Cuomo campaign in the final days.
Nick, even before this campaign, you covered you know what? We're going to let you actually cover election results as they come in. We are going to let you go right now. And next time we'll talk to you will be when we'll find out. We'll have a pretty good idea how things are going. So keep an eye on the vibes at Cuomo HQ.
You know what?
Will do. Sounds good.
What Andrew Cuomo really needs to be afraid of is someone is going to pee on those iPads. So, maybe focus less
really
on Mamdani, more about that,
Yeah. All right. So we love journalism over at Hellgate. We are actively doing journalism over at Hellgate, but even good journalists like us need to take a break every so often. And so we are going to take a last break before voting results come. and they're coming extremely shortly in just 3 minutes. So we will be back shortly, and we will see you soon after these messages.
What's gonna happen?
Hey, I'm Scott Lynch. I'm hungry all the time, and I never know where in New York City I'm going to be. So every week I check out a new restaurant, I write about it, and add it to Hellgate's $20 dinner map. I love New York City so much. I love checking out both brand new and totally legendary restaurants all over town. And I love sharing my favorite spots with all my friends here on Hellgate. Best city in the world, baby.
So wherever you are, if you're looking for a place with really good food and then friendly people for a price that's nice, check out the $20 dinner map, only on Hellgate. Ooh.
welcome back to the Hellgate Election Night live stream. Folks, I'm Max Nadler, and I feel like I'm dreaming.
I'm Katie Way, and Max, I would love to know, dreaming in a good way or a bad way?
In a good way, because right now we have Adlin Jackson, who is in Astoria with Rana Abdulhamid, as the results are coming out as we speak. So we're going to get live look at a leader of Muslim voters in Astoria, Queens, as people are glued to the TV. Adlin, take it away.
Yo, so it's about 3 minutes past 9 o'clock. The polls just closed, and there was just a chant of polls are closed. I'm here with Rana Abdulhamid, a community organizer. Where are we right now?
We're in Mocha & Co. We're at a Muslim watch party here in Queens, where we've gathered different organizers and community members to celebrate tonight.
And what would a Mamdani victory mean to you and the people who are gathered here tonight?
It would mean everything. This is something that was never even imaginable. As someone who grew up Muslim in New York City, I never imagined this moment. So many people poured their heart and soul. So many people door knocked. So many people canvassed. And it would just show the power of Muslim Coalition, and it would show the power of our community.
And what do you think you owe Mamdani owes this level of support and this level of community turnout to?
I think his message around affordability really resonated with New Yorkers. Any New Yorker that you will speak to is struggling from affordability, and he had very clear and concrete solutions for that. And he was outside with the people, and he connected with the community, and people resonated.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we saw in the primary was that the kind of Mamdani coalition was like consistently underestimated. Like polls undercounted Mamdani supporters pretty consistently. I looked today at the primary polls, and they were all like,
they were all wrong.
Can you tell us, if you had to talk to a pollster about the level of political engagement and the level of political will that you see as an organizer in this neighborhood, what would you tell them?
I think just look at this room.
All right, Adlin, we are going to we're going to take it back to the studio so we can show the results on our own. Thank you, Adlin. You can hear the results coming from the party, and we are looking at live results right now where Zohran Mamdani, so these are the early votes that came in through the 10 days of early voting. As you can see, Zohran Mamdani right now with 51% of the vote, Andrew Cuomo with 39% of the vote, and Curtis Sliwa with 8% of the vote. This is pretty interesting because while Zohran Mamdani is breaking 50%, which a lot of his supporters wanted him to do to show that he would win regardless of whether Cuomo and Sliwa both stayed in the race, it's actually a bit of a decline for Curtis Sliwa in where the polls had him. It shows, at least in the early voting, a decent amount of consolidation of Republican voters to the Cuomo camp. That being said, a lot of Republicans vote on Election Day, and man, we have gotten some numbers in about how many people voted during Election Day. Over 2 million people voted. We still don't have the final count yet, but this takes us to at least the most amount of votes in a mayoral election since the 1960s. So obviously, a lot of New Yorkers getting their voices heard today. And we're seeing, at least encouraging signs. Honestly, I'd have to say right now, possibly for both candidates, obviously you'd want to be Zohran Mamdani. A 100,000 vote gap between the two of them from the early voting is definitely significant, almost probably insurmountable, but we'll have to see how the Election Day vote went. Katie, what are you thinking about these? What do you see in here?
What am I seeing? I mean, to be totally fair to Curtis Sliwa, I highly doubt people who are casting their votes for him in this mayoral election made the plans, executed the plans to vote early. Maybe that's just wishful thinking if I put on my beret, and think about that. But otherwise, I mean, especially again with what we were seeing in terms of historic turnout for the early vote, that spike in youth vote, I guess I can't say I'm surprised, but at the same time, I try not to predict the future. I try to just let it happen. So, I leave a little bit of that to, oh, wait, shit, we are the news.
Yeah, we are the news. And speaking of
forgot.
being the news, I would say that there are there are people out there who are ready to call the race. We at Hellgate HQ are not yet ready to call the race.
Until a note card tells us
Until a note card tells us to, coming directly from our tabulators in the back of the Life World studio.
Yeah, we got some little mice back there.
They are trained animals. We adopted them. We've kind of cuddled with them, and we told them how to tabulate votes. So that's when we're going to make our call. But right now, we are looking at these votes as they're coming in. They are looking extremely strong. If you're Zohran Mamdani, again, 51% is probably where he wants to be. But as we get ready to move on to our next mayor, now is probably a good time to look back at some of the wonderful quotes from our previous mayor, Eric Adams.
I know, I am kind of like, it's hard to let go, it's hard to let go.
Yeah.
It's almost like I can't give up my seat.
This was a
recent classic.
This was a pretty good one. I was actually there when he said this. He called us all the Gracie Mansion kind of the first time he was going to drop out. And then at the last second, he was like, I'm not going to drop out. Why? Because Andrew Cuomo, he's a liar and a snake.
I am the pilot, folks. I don't know this one.
Yeah,
I'm
this is
the
a good
pilot,
one.
folks, and you are all the passengers. Stop praying for me to crash the plane. Wait, true. Pray for me to land the plane because there are no parachutes on this plane. We're all going down together. If it's an Eric Adams plane, there also is no black box. And if there was a black box, you would not be able to get into it because he would have forgotten the password. I don't know about planes. I didn't watch the rehearsal season 2.
Oh, it's a good one.
It's
pretty
maybe
fun.
after this, I've been so busy with the election.
Yeah.
And that show came out like 3 years ago. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'm ready for another one. Let's hit us with another one.
Hit us with another quotable. Everyone that knows me, they know one thing. I hate rats. When we started killing them in Borough Hall, some of those same folks criticized me, calling me a murderer because I was killing rats. That being said, I think a strategic mistake, one of many for the Adams mayoralty, is staking his entire reputation on killing rats in New York City and getting rid of our rat problem. Because, folks, you cannot kill the rats. The rats, they are strong. The rats, they are unified. And the rats, they're ready to run this town.
There's only one candidate who really has a good plan for what to do about rats that involves a little feline solution.
Because when you have too many rats, that's the time you need cats. Folks, we're going to toss it now to Jesse Edwards, who's at Curtis Sliwa HQ. Obviously, the early returns, not so great for Curtis Sliwa. Jesse, how's it going? A new beret.
All right, guys. I mean, maybe not, but people here are still partying. We've still got people chanting Curtis, Curtis in the background, and I'm actually here right now with Steve. He's a Republican, he's a huge Curtis Sliwa fan, and he's a current guardian angel. And I thought it would be fun to test Steve on his knowledge of Curtis Sliwa with a little bit of a quiz, if you are game for that.
Please.
Sure.
All right, okay. So my first question for Steve is, Curtis Sliwa was famously the manager of which fast food outlet before he started the Guardian Angels? Steve, do you know?
McDonald's, and it was on Fordham Road in the Bronx.
Okay, he knows.
Nice.
All right. Another one for you. The Guardian Angels hasn't always been called the Guardian Angels. What was its name originally? Do you know?
Yes, the Magnificent 13.
He's right.
Whoa.
He's right.
Steve, I'm freaking
we're
out.
going to have to hit him with some harder ones, I think. All right. So, Curtis Sliwa said that he would only leave the mayoral race for what reason? Can you give me? He gave 3 specific reasons across the term of the campaign. Can you name any one of them?
If he were dead.
That's right. And just to be specific, he said if he was buried in a pine box 6 feet under, if he was impaled, or if a Mack truck hit him and he ended up in the ICU.
Colorful language from Curtis.
Colorful language from Curtis.
What else is new?
Okay. We have a slightly harder one coming now, Steve. All right. Which eating competition did Curtis Sliwa win 3 times in the 1990s?
The Coney Island hot dog eating contest.
Unfortunately, it was actually a sour pickle eating competition. He won three times in a row. He did compete in the hot dog eating competition, but he didn't win.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected.
So, Steve, I wondered if you could just tell us a little bit about why you voted for Curtis Sliwa today.
Yes. Nobody knows New York City and its issues better than Curtis Sliwa. From founding the Guardian Angels in 1979, putting his life on the line and leading that group for public safety in a very selfless way. He shows a history of service, and if you listen to him on the radio, which I have, he really knows so much about so many things, not just New York City, but all over the world, because the Guardian Angels are all over the world. He's traveled to so many places, and you learn so many things from Curtis. And I think that Curtis cannot be bought, and he will not sell out. So I really respect that.
He has a huge fan base, Guardian Angels in Japan, I've heard. So one more thing. The president himself, he said, don't vote for Curtis. It's a wasted vote. Vote for Cuomo. What do you think about that?
I think that's the wrong advice from President Trump. And I think what should have happened is that Cuomo, who I call killer, harasser, thug Cuomo, should have dropped out himself. He was beaten in the primary, where the poll showed he was going to win by 30 or 40%, and he ended up losing by 13%, and he should have just left the scene. So the real spoiler is killer, harasser, thug Cuomo.
Well, you heard it here, folks.
All right.
This is Steve, current Guardian Angel, massive Sliwa fan, and we'll be joining you again shortly, hopefully, to talk with the man himself.
All right, thank you so much, Jesse, and thank you to Steve, who did a lot better on
Yeah,
that quiz
Steve,
than I would have.
Fucking crushing it.
That was pretty good. I didn't know that about the pickles.
Wow.
What a guy.
Yeah, Sliwa fans, they are up on their guy, and he was like ready. He had all the anti-Cuomo talking points down.
Yeah. He called him killer, harasser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, results are coming in. Again, we are still not getting any results yet from the precincts. Like we said, some lesser news outlets have already called this race for Zohran Mamdani. Those are people who do not follow the true path, which is they're trying to get ahead of the news. That's not what we're here doing.
We would never do something
We're here
like
stringing
that.
you out. We are going to give you all of the news when the news is good and ready, okay?
Yeah.
And I know people are ready to explode and get excited, but that's not what elections are about, and that's not what democracy is about.
Democracy is not about, it's like when you take the cookies out of the oven and it's so soft in the middle, it's disgusting. But, actually, now that we speak of things
maybe we should look at
that
some
we're
results.
ready to stick a fork into, let's get some results going
Let's
up on the
some
screen.
results up on the board.
That would be so amazing to look at. All right.
Okay, so we've gotten more of the vote in, and you can see that Zohran Mamdani is now closer to 50%, but Andrew Cuomo is inching upwards. You see 39.98%, 40% basically. So Zohran Mamdani with a 10-point lead over Andrew Cuomo, Curtis Sliwa with 8%. And then, something that we haven't talked about yet is that obviously Eric Adams dropped out of the race, but he was still on the ballot. So you might be like, interesting. Where is this 2%? This doesn't add up to 100. Eric Adams still playing a vital role in this.
Hey, Max, do not forget about Jim Walden, who is still also on the ballot under I think integrity. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was scared my hand was going to slip in the booth today. That would have been what a nightmare that would have been.
Yeah. Well, we are still looking at these results. We have a few other results coming in. I'm looking at our tallies right now. It looks as though the ballot propositions have, that affordable housing ones are in pretty good shape right now. Number 2, 3, and 4 are getting ready, looking like they are on the verge of succeeding, especially because, both candidates, both Cuomo and Zohran Mamdani, came out in favor of the propositions. So, Katie, 10-point lead. We'll see what happens. Everyone is kind of on pins and needles right now. But let's say Zohran Mamdani was elected to office. What kind of stands in his way to pass his ambitious agenda in Albany?
Right, exactly. I mean, like we kind of touched on earlier in this live stream, a lot of, the state Democratic Party, especially, kind of the more centrist Democrats who weren't really aligned with Zohran's very, firmly democratic socialist, progressive agenda, took a while to fall in line. Obviously, in a sort of normal race, you would see instant endorsement for the Democratic nominee. That's actually not what happened this time around. So, if, we encounter a scenario where Albany decides to drag their heels, Governor Hochul decides she wants to take a stand against Mamdani, then, that could be a real problem for a lot of the things that he wants to accomplish. Luckily, we have seen Governor Hochul, luckily for Mamdani, appear on stage and appear to be bending the knee a bit. So, TBD. But, speaking of,
we're going to give everybody what they want, and that is Chris Robbins over at Mamdani HQ, standing by with Michael Lang, the election whiz kid. Let's take it from here, guys. What's going on?
Katie and Max, I'm here with Michael Lang. You know him, you love him. The narrative wars, the polls are closed. What are you seeing? What's surprising you? What's not surprising you?
So, of the early vote counted, which is over 800,000 ballots, Mamdani was up 12 points versus Cuomo. Curtis Sliwa's support has basically collapsed. It's like 8% or less. So it's completely like a two-person race. Cuomo's been able to cannibalize it a lot. Since then, there have been like another 150,000 ballots that have come in. We're just under 1 million. Cuomo has cut Mamdani's lead to under 10. It's like 9.2%. We still have like a 1.3 million votes or so to count, but I think this is not going to be decided immediately. I will also say that of the map of where the votes are coming from, Cuomo is running it up in all of the Republican neighborhoods, all the Orthodox and Hasidic neighborhoods, middle-class Jewish neighborhoods he's doing well, and also on the Upper East Side and the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Mamdani is doing well in the Commie Corridor, all the more normie-lib parts of Manhattan, and also he's narrowly winning many of the city's black neighborhoods, which is, again, why he is up. Okay, while we are doing this, I just got another ballot drop of like 200,000. Mamdani 49.5, Cuomo 41.5. So I'm not trying to scare anybody. I don't love the direction that is going, particularly when we still have over 1 million votes to be counted.
So you're saying that like the messaging of Sliwa's a spoiler candidate,
it absolutely worked. What Donald Trump saying vote for Cuomo, all of that, it did work. The turnout is high in those areas. I think Mamdani's base can match their turnout, but it's tightening, and I would say I'm a little concerned.
And so the record turnout, that's you're saying that's helping both candidates right now?
That's what I think. I think it would be very hard for it only to be helpful to Cuomo, but it's not. This is not a Mamdani landslide. This is tighter than I would hope. It's 8 points right now. 8 points is a solid cushion, but the election day vote that has been recorded has been very it has skewed towards Cuomo. With each drop, he has narrowed the lead. I think we got to see.
Fascinating stuff. Michael Lang, we'll be back with him later on this evening. Get out of here. Go.
Take care.
There you go, folks. Still lots of ballots to count. It's tighter than Lang initially predicted, and the relentless campaign of Sliwa's a spoiler vote. Don't waste your vote on Curtis Sliwa. Republicans, bite your tongue, hold your nose, vote for Andrew Cuomo. Clearly resonated with lots of New Yorkers.
If that was Cuomo's only effective messaging of the campaign, that would be, what is that, Alanis Morissette song? Yeah.
We also saw, the 9/11 video come out of one of the pro-Cuomo super PACs. There's, tens of millions of dollars in negative ads, negative campaigning that we've seen in the last several weeks. Money coming in from former Mayor Michael Bloomberg, who, by the way, we asked him about whether he was okay with his money being used for racist ads, and he declined to comment. So, we're seeing that negative campaigning, be more effective than some anticipated. And yeah, Curtis Sliwa, while his campaign resonates with some folks, I think perhaps a lot of people are like, he's not going to win. We have to vote for Andrew Cuomo.
All right. So thanks so much, Chris, for giving us this update. Obviously, a much tighter race than we expected. We'll check back in with you, and we'll check back in with Michael Lang a little bit later this evening, which actually looks a lot longer than we thought it would be. So sit tight. All right. So we are going to be looking at now a few of the other races that are unfolding in New York City.
Yeah, let's blow off a little steam with city council race district number 47, right?
Yeah, district number 47.
That is the old home of Justin Brannan.
Yes, this is for Justin Brannan's seat, and I'll let you give Kayla's name a chance here. Give it a shot, and then I'll do George.
Oh, brother. Kayla Santos-Suoso?
Yeah, pretty good.
I don't know. Yeah, let's see.
She has around 60% of the votes, whereas, and this is mine, George Sarantopoulos, 40%. So this looks like let me put my Steve Kornacki hat on, even though I'm stealing this from Michael Lange, a Democratic hold. The seat will remain Democratic. So now we're going to look elsewhere. We're going to go to Queens. This is Vicky Palladino's seat. She was facing a challenge from Benjamin Chu. It's the inverse there, a lot fewer votes, but Benjamin Chu down 4,000 votes at 42%, and Vicky Palladino, who has called for the deportation of Zohran Mamdani, over at around 60%, 58%, 60%. So right there, both of these results not unexpected. This was pretty much how we thought that would go. Mm-hmm. But, all eyes on that tightening mayor's race as we see how that goes. How are you feeling right now, Katie?
How am I feeling right now? My mouth is a little dry. I'm a little bit sweaty. I'm feeling as though we may have a situation of, did we jinx it? But let's not think about that. Let's think about, let's take it back to our favorite cat owner. Max, do you think there's any way that Curtis Sliwa could still win?
Well, being at 8% it's a tough row, but there's still around 50% of scanners, 75% of scanners left to come, 50% of the vote still to be counted. Curtis Sliwa could see a reversal of, that collapse. Sometimes something is collapsing, but then all of a sudden gravity just holds it up. So we've gotten word right in here, just wrong finger. We've gotten word that Curtis Sliwa has arrived at his headquarters right now. He's getting ready, it looks like, to speak. We've got Jesse Edwards over at Curtis Sliwa HQ. We are ready to see what she's up to. And folks, she might be wearing a whole other beret. Who knows? Oh, nope, there's Curtis himself.
We have spent 2 years organizing this movement. It's not just Republicans or Democrats or independents. It's animal lovers. It's people who've been disenfranchised. People who have been pushed to the side, whose voices have not been heard. the homeless, the emotionally disturbed, the veterans, the people who ride the subways. We meet with them each and every day. That's right. And we will not surrender. We will not retreat. We will not leave this city of New York. We will not move. And let me warn our new leader, if you try to implement socialism, if you try to render our police weak and impotent, if you forsake the people's public safety, we're not only organizing, but we are mobilizing. And we will become the mayor-elect and his supporters' worst enemies.
All right, so that is Curtis Sliwa. Thank you, Jesse, for providing that live look at what very much looked like a concession speech from Curtis Sliwa. In a second, we will have updated results. You can still hear Curtis Sliwa. He won't stop, folks. Even when we cut away from him, he's reaching beyond the veil to get into your homes. Curtis Sliwa, I should remind everybody, gave up everything for this opportunity. He lost his job at WABC Radio, where he was being paid. Katie, how much was he being paid?
I mean, I think he was raking in mid six figures, which is like, how do I sign up for that? Anyway, you know, enough of me shopping around. Let's hit you guys with some more results.
It's time for results. Who wants a heart attack? Who wants a cardiac episode? We all do, folks. Right now, you can see with 52.58% of the votes, Zohran Mamdani at around 50%, 49.6%. Andrew Cuomo at 41.61%. And Curtis Sliwa, who it very much sounded like he was conceding, now out of the running at around 8%. So, you know, I mean, as more of the vote comes in, these are pretty good margins if you're Zohran Mamdani, but also, again, like Michael Lang was saying just now with Chris, the collapse of Sliwa has happened. People have consolidated votes that would be going to a Republican candidate during a normal election are now going to Andrew Cuomo. Was that, Katie, was that something that you actually expected to happen when you were out reporting today?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the one Cuomo voter who I did have the chance to speak with today told me that she was an avowed, lifelong conservative, Republican. I think she called Curtis Sliwa the top dog, which, you know, I was like, excuse me, ma'am, wrong one. But, you know, she had said that she admired him for protecting, you know, New York City all his life. But at the same time, she was voting for Cuomo as the lesser of two evils because, you know, in her estimation, Mamdani's agenda, and, you know, even she pointed out something that, as we said earlier, Mamdani's no longer promising or even pretending to support defunding the police. As, you know, the number one thing she didn't want to see happen, which again, like we said, really just makes me think that all of that messaging was effective. It did work. That onslaught, these like last few months of, you know, Cuomo finally taking Zohran Mamdani seriously enough to, you know, really viciously attack him did hit home. So that to me feels like what we're seeing tonight. How are you feeling, Max?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think the stress, if you're the Mamdani camp, is if you do not break the 50% limit, then, you know, basically you are entering City Hall facing what I would say is a uphill battle. It's not necessarily fair, right? People say, oh, you only ended up with 46, 48, or 49%, unlike Eric Adams, who got, you know, in the 70s, or Bill de Blasio, who got in the 80s. Again, these were very different races. Like, we're already seeing pundits online, especially centrists, especially reactionaries, saying, oh, wow, you know, Mamdani got less of a margin than Spanberger in Virginia. And it's as if, you know, again, the apples to apples here is if the person that Spanberger beat in the primary still ran in the general election. It's like in New Jersey, if Ras Baraka finished second, and then stayed in the race. It doesn't really make any sense how it kind of breaks down, especially because Andrew Cuomo is the former governor. So I don't think it's necessarily fair what people are holding him to, but it's obviously something that I think the Mamdani campaign really wanted to put behind them, was that if they could break 50%, fuck it. If they could go into the mid-50s, they could put that all to rest and say that they had a really serious mandate from the people of New York City to accomplish what they want to. That being said, if he holds at around 50%, more people will have voted for Zohran Mamdani to be mayor than pretty much any other person in modern New York City history. So take that as you will. Normally, general elections in New York City are sleepy affairs between the Democrat and the Republican. But at the end of the day, more New Yorkers pulled the lever for Mamdani than they did for de Blasio, Adams, Bloomberg, Dinkins, Giuliani. This is a Lindsay-level victory. And, I think, honestly, Mamdani's got to kind of focus on that as opposed to what ended up being a pretty ugly general election campaign meant to hold him down. We have some other calls to make. Incumbent Jumaane Williams, he's going to be the projected winner of Public Advocate. He got around 71.5% of the votes. And, that was to be expected. He didn't have any serious challengers, although, Jumaane Williams was always somebody who was considered to be a possible mayoral candidate and somebody who could have stepped into the void that was either left in 2021 when Eric Adams won, or when this entire race was up for grabs. So I think that's a kind of a new formation. What other questions come to mind as we're waiting for more results to come on in?
I mean, honestly, this has been, Max, frankly, a question that has been on my mind for the entirety of this election. Where is Chris Cuomo?
Yeah.
I'm just where is he? Why isn't he helping his brother?
You didn't see Chris driving the Bronco while, Andrew was, I don't know, making a phone call or something like that.
No.
I know. These are brothers who, really wedded themselves to their father's reputation. And Chris just kind of stood by as Andrew absolutely burned through any goodwill that he might have had with the public. I mean, then again, still 40%. New ballots have just dropped.
Enough of that. Enough of that Chris stuff.
All right.
Oh, shit.
Take us through these, Katie.
Okay, so as you can see here, we've got a slight uptick. Zohran is back at 50%. How much? Oh, we got 65.8% of the votes in. Curtis Sliwa continuing to kind of go down like London Bridge. He is dropping, I would say, pretty decently below 8%, entering 7.5 territory. Like we said, he's already conceded. And Andrew Cuomo, as more of the results begin to pour in, does not seem to be, gaining those same scary jumps for Mamdani supporters that we were seeing before. But you know what? NBC's doing it. The New York Times is doing it. Max, why don't we just be bad and do it? Why don't we go ahead and call the New York City mayoral election for Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani? That's our next fucking mayor. That's crazy.
Well, first I need to consult with our animals in the background. And folks, here we have it. Zohran Mamdani will be the 111th mayor of New York City.
Wow.
Wow. The animals we've trained to tabulate in the back, they're applauding. I don't know who those folks are. Hellgate has seen enough.
Dang.
Zohran Mamdani will be the next mayor of New York City. This caps an incredible 12 months of a local election that saw the mayor of New York City enmeshed in scandal and a little-known assembly member, Democratic socialist from Astoria, Queens. Rapper. He has really shaken the world. This caps it. I know we're focusing on things like margins, but people need to understand what has happened tonight in New York City has really shaken the world to its core. This is an international sensation.
First Muslim mayor of New York City. We're up. But, on that note, Everybody tip your bartenders. We are taking a
back here at the election night live stream at Hellgate. We just called the race for Zohran Mamdani, and we have Chris Robbins at Mamdani HQ with the one, the only, Michael Lang. Chris, what is up? Obviously a turn of events over the past 30 minutes. What are the vibes like?
Yeah, the vibes are screaming and cheering. I'm here with Michael Lang, the Narrative Wars. Michael, a few minutes ago, you seemed concerned about Mamdani's chances because the Sliwa voters switched to Cuomo. What happened in the 10 minutes that you were gone?
Well, the race did narrow. It got as low as 8%, but then 100,000 ballots here, 200,000 ballots there, it held. Mamdani actually started growing his lead, and now with 1.7 million votes out of an expected 2.3 million in the bank, he's up 9%, and it's over. And then mathematically, it would be impossible for Cuomo to.
And so, a lot of pundits were talking about getting above 50%. What do you think Mamdani's percentage is going to be? I think you predicted 53.
I predicted 52.3. Right now we're at 50.36. I think as more ballots come in, I think he can kind of climb up that a little bit. I think he'll stay above 50%. But, I mean, it'll be like a 51-40, 50-41 type of race. And I think, but again, this still, Mamdani is on course to get more votes than I think any candidate since Abe Beam or John Lindsay. So again,
we're talking mid-1960s turnout here.
Yes, late 60s, early 70s. So again, over 50%, over 1 million votes. I think that's pretty good.
And one last question for you, Curtis Sliwa, did he play the spoiler here? Could if he had dropped out soon enough, do you see this race being much more competitive?
I think it turned out to be sneaky kind of competitive. I think if Sliwa would have gone out, there probably would have been a lot more independent expenditure spending, like 100 million, 200 million. But he stuck in. He didn't bend the knee to Cuomo. Many of his voters defected, but over 130,000 of them did not. I do think it's a different race if he isn't in, but I think Zohran would probably still win because you can't so neatly move voters like that,
Anything else from the returns here that you think are notable, remarkable, interesting, worthy of talking to our viewers about?
I think a big story will be Zohran's performance with Black and Hispanic New Yorkers. Some of those neighborhoods he struggled with in the primary, he won them all tonight, and it's a huge reason why he is going to win. Why he will be the next mayor. And I think that's very fitting. I got to dive into some precinct level data. We'll see how he did in some Trump neighborhoods, but big moment for New York, big moment for the United States.
Michael Lang, The Narrative Wars. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, talk soon.
All right.
Max and Katie, you heard it there. There's Michael Lang.
We did.
Great, we heard it, Chris. We will be checking in with you one more time before the end of the night. Keep us updated how it's going there. The vibes seem historic.
The vibes.
We'll never know.
We'll never know how the vibes are. Maybe Chris was going to say the vibes are in fact bad.
Well,
yeah.
better. Speaking of bad vibes,
Yeah.
I think it's time to check in on ourselves. No, I'm just kidding.
It's
We have a
time
great
to check
vibe.
in with us. We have a great vibe. Obviously, there are some other results that we can announce soon, or right now, in fact, is that props 2 through 5 have passed. We'll take a look very shortly
Not the
at
maps.
fuck the maps. Oh, we shouldn't digitize these.
I voted against that.
Yeah, maybe we got some tips from people who are very anti-digitizing maps, and we will leave it at that because it does seem to be a good amount of people that have feelings about it. And you know who has a lot of feelings? And this is because I work with the guy, I could say it, Mr. Nick Pinto. He's got a lot of feelings. He's a smart, intelligent guy, and he's feeling all those feelings at Cuomo HQ. Nick Pinto, what is the vibe at Cuomo's?
I would say people are still processing their feelings. There's been no formal concession. There's been no formal anything. Everyone's just still milling around. The people on the balcony are still lurking ominously.
Nick, hold the mic a little bit closer to you. There we go.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, is this better?
Oh yeah, now we're talking.
It's way better.
You were just so somber. You were like, I can't have them hear me.
Yeah, no, it cannot be spoken. I was saying that the mood is people are still taking it on board. I think there's been no formal concession yet. There's been no formal anything yet. People are just milling around still. When some of the outlets began to call the race, there was an outflux. A lot of people left. Some sort
man.
Of, hot girls for Cuomo looking people definitely filed out because maybe this had turned into a loser party. I don't know.
Turned into.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas before it was like a Heisenberg loser party. Anyway. Yeah, so I expect we'll get some kind of speech at some point in the evening. I don't know if that
maybe he pulls a Hillary.
Yeah.
He has hot sauce in his bag.
But I will say an enormous amount of antipathy in the room to Curtis Sliwa. Even though the numbers really show, I imagine you guys have been talking about this. Cuomo ate up a lot of the Sliwa vote block. Hearing from a lot of people that Sliwa is a spoiler here, and that Cuomo could have had it, but for that.
Well, Sliwa better watch his back next time he's in the Hamptons or Westchester. Nick, we will check in with you one more time because we enjoy pathos, and it's really fun to hear from you over at Cuomo HQ at least one last time. But who knows, if he runs for local town board, dog catcher, things like that, we are going to send you to all of his concession speeches.
I'm on it like a blanket.
All right, thanks so much, Nick. We'll see you shortly. Oh, man. So obviously we are waiting for Andrew Cuomo to take the stage. Always a great sight. We are checking out, we were wondering where Chris Cuomo is, but where's Sandra Lee?
Where is Sandra Lee?
Yeah.
Feet kicked up, glass of Chard in hand, absolutely smiling and laughing, maybe FaceTiming a friend. That's where I would be. That's where I would be.
One thing that I kind of really admire about Curtis Sliwa is that he keeps all of his exes in orbit. You're not just dealing with Curtis Sliwa, you are dealing with Curtis Sliwa and his exes, people he's had kids with, and we've all, listen, this was a weird election. We all saw some of the photos of young Curtis and went, we gotta say, you know. But maybe people were just, Katie, were people hotter in the 70s? Was that just like how it was?
People hotter in the 70s. Oh, if I were there. If I could only take a little walk in the time machine, I would know. Were people hotter in the 70s only until like age 25?
Yeah,
right? Because then it's like the smoking and the sun exposure and like, you know, what else? They were eating weird foods back then. I don't know. I'm glad we live in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what'll happen when we turn 25, but we probably won't look as busted as people did in the 70s. All right, we have some other results to give you. District Attorney Alvin Bragg has won re-election as Manhattan District Attorney, race called by the Associated Press. He had an opponent, but it wasn't really a serious race. Now, let us look at the ballot proposals. Oh no!
Shit.
Oh, shit! Oh, fuck! Oh, man! This rules.
Dude,
Damn.
that's funny.
Voted down.
They said
Proposition
no.
1. They said, fuck
No
your
to
park.
that
Fuck your
forest
park.
land. Wait,
Eat shit.
what is going to happen with the Olympics now?
Oh, no.
I'm like, what actually was the alternative? I can't believe people didn't vote for
That's
this. Sorry.
crazy. Wow.
Sorry.
They should not have let us
Whatever.
vote on this. This was wrong of
Dude,
us.
these ballot proposals had me, I was just like, this is the shit. Like, why is this being decided for a vote? Just decide this as the government.
Honestly,
I'm sorry.
I'm a New York City supremacist, but we should really not be making decisions about what happens in the Adirondacks.
What happens with the maps? Like, who even? Anyway, whatever.
Whatever.
Speaking of confusing decisions, the decision to run for mayor again, we are going to take it very soon to our own Jesse Edwards, who is, you know, keeping the party going over at Curtis Sliwa's, what was it, Arte Cafe?
Arte Cafe,
Arte.
Cafe. You know, let's see how it's going. I mean, Sliwa has to. I mean, their hatred for Cuomo was pure, and you know, I think he has to relish the fact that, even though Zohran Mamdani might break 50% tonight, he really played the spoiler here. If it was closer, I think it would have been really interesting. Jesse, we're up to beret number 3 tonight. Tell us about this beret.
So this beret, I'm hoping to entice Curtis Sliwa to talk with me. Obviously, we're working on 2 fronts here. We've got the beret, but we've also got the animal print. As we know, Curtis Sliwa is a real cat lover. And in saying that, we just had him out here about 10-15 minutes ago. He came out to raucous applause from his fan base here, and he got up on the podium and he did a little speech. He obviously has considered the race, and to his credit, you know, he said he absolutely respects democracy. He doesn't respect socialism that much. He said, like, whatever we do, we have to make sure that socialism does not replace capitalism. But he also said that he was really, really, really pissed off with the billionaires and the millionaires who tried to get him out of the race. So Curtis Sliwa, he got up on the stage just now and he said that he was offered a $10 million bribe to drop out of this mayoral race, which I think we know he was offered money. I don't think we knew exactly how much it was. So that was interesting. And he just promised that he was going to fight. He's going to stick around and try to hold Mayor Mamdani to account. He says he doesn't want funds being taken from the police, which Mamdani has said he's not going to do. But Curtis Lee was going to be watching. And he has gone into the back with his family members, with Maria and his dear wife Nancy, who he shouted out on stage. Nancy, as we know, has been doing a lot of work for animal rights, and I think we're going to start partying now. You know, just celebrating
Jesse,
the man that he is.
Jesse, I want you to have the greatest time tonight. I'm so excited for you. Oh my God. You gotta just keep adding berets until Curtis Sliwa comes over to you like a tractor beam. He's like, oh my God. Oh my God, this
Moth
person.
to a flame.
Yeah, you have to literally recreate hats for sale. All right, Jesse, we will check in with you one more time tonight. Thanks again. Please keep the party going over there.
Someone's got some chips behind you. You should get on that.
Yeah, hit up the
That's
food.
looking good.
The food looks so good.
The food does look good.
All right, so we will have some more results and updated results to share with you in a second, but we are good, in fact, with these results. So let's take a look at
city
them.
council races in the mix, Max. All right, it looks like down in Sunny Bay Ridge, City Council District number 47 has officially been called for Kayla Santos Suoso with 59% of the vote, beating George Sarantopoulos.
In the undefeated winner of the tough to pronounce name, but not in a racist way. And I'm sticking to that description, and I can't be fact checked.
Totally.
So we have that is in Bay Ridge. We also have some updated graphics and results coming from Northeast Queens. This is Vicky Palladino, the world's worst substitute teacher, the one that like slaps you on the wrist and you're like, I think this person hit me, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe I'm doing some Vicky Palladino role play. I might be totally off base here. And none of this, by the way, none of this is actionable because it's just jokes. It's just jokes, folks. And yeah, so we are taking a look at a few of these other races. While we get ready to do that, I kind of want to linger a little bit. Prop 1, man. That's fucking crazy. Because here's the deal, folks.
Come on, you guys. It was already built.
We already built the ski resort. This was to give us more land.
Also, the people in the Adirondack, like the Adirondack conservationist groups were like, vote for this. So there's more forest.
I think we needed to we needed to tell people, A, what the Adirondacks were, B, where the ski resort was, and, basically, communicate that much, much better. I would say this, New York State is extremely, Max putting on his weird guy hat. New York City is extremely cool in that we own a bunch of publicly owned ski resorts because we hosted the Olympics back in the day. We founded an authority. And, that was something that we now use to run these ski resorts. It's also a wonderful economic development program for the Adirondacks and North Country, which, if you have ever been up there, are very economically depressed. So once again, New York City, just really stabbing upstate, which doesn't set right with the fact that we are now going to have to go up to New Albany and get some money from our millionaires and pass legislation. So maybe we should figure out a way to get Prop 1 overturned. Now, speaking of something that's not going to be overturned, the rule of Vicky Palladino continues. Yeah. 58%, 42%. Benjamin Chow, who is running against her, a FDNY firefighter, put up a good fight. And, I think Vicky Palladino, MAGA individual who is pretty racist, definitely prevailed there. So not a left-wing takeover of politics in New York City yet.
The Momdocalypse being held off by a thread.
Yeah.
And on that note, we are going to go ahead and take it to break. This has been and will continue to be the Hellgate Election Night live stream. Thank you all for sticking with us. Oh, what fun.
2 years ago, I auditioned and got on Jeopardy, and unfortunately, it was a one and done. But it was, probably one of the more surreal, fun experiences in my life. My name is Ron, and I am looking for someone to spend the cold nights without baseball with, someone to spend longer than the winter with. A reader would be nice. Someone who likes art would be nice. Scully, like Gillian Anderson, for sure. Absolutely. 1000%. Yeah. The smart, like tough as nails, took no shit, was always kind of rolling her eyes at Mulder's bullshit. It's great. I want some pushback in my life. Yeah, I want to get pushed around a little bit. Just a little bit. Anyone who's right wing, probably at this stage of the world. Someone who's apolitical, also probably not great. Melted. An appreciation for art. I try to ask good questions. I cook. Trying to get better at making pasta and fresh noodles from scratch. We're pretty good at listening and occasionally dispensing advice. For men, ask more questions. Men don't ask enough questions on dates. I've seen it, and it's like pretty horrible. And I'm terrified to give advice to women, so I won't. I'm just gonna say puppy dog energy. That's 3 words. Yeah, we'll do that.
Hey, I'm Scott Lynch. I'm hungry all the time, and I never know where in New York City I'm going to be. So every week I check out a new restaurant, I write about it, and add it to Hellgate's $20 dinner map. I love New York City so much. I love checking out both brand new and totally legendary restaurants all over town. And I love sharing my favorite spots with all my friends here on Hellgate. Best city in the world, baby.
So wherever you are, if you're looking for a place with really good food and then friendly people for a price that's nice, check out the $20 dinner map, only on Hellgate. Ooh.
All right, guys, welcome back. This is Katie Way. I'm here with Max Rivelin-Nadler. We are still in studio, even though we are kind of itching to get out onto the town. And this is the Hellgate Election Night live stream. And by the way, if you've been enjoying what you've been seeing here tonight, it has been made by us. Like I said before, we are a very small team of reporters and business people, and again, trusted collaborators. We will shout everybody out later, but if you're enjoying it, we are doing this and everything we do because of subscribers at home. We are worker owned, we are independent. Please go to hellgatenyc.com/membership to subscribe if you are not in our clique already. And if you like what we do, you can also give us a tip at our tip jar. Same website /tip-jar. We love it. All right.
Love it.
Time for
Some
more results.
Zohran Mamdani with a large percentage of the votes in. You can see he's creeping up towards a million votes, still staying above 50%, which was the goal that many in his campaign had set for himself. Andrew Cuomo at 41.42%, over 800,000 votes. So a lot of people did still vote for Andrew Cuomo. Curtis Sliwa, well below the percentage that a Republican gets, but of course, with this huge influx of voters this year, that's pretty much right around the number of votes that Republicans normally get in an election. I think you're seeing, honestly, the polls, and I hate to give it to him, the polls were pretty close on this one. Everyone had a kind of critical consensus of Zohran Mamdani at around plus 10. And that's what you're seeing tonight, folks. And on top of that, there are still votes coming in. This is not all the votes in yet. And, we hear the chatter on the interwebs. There's still votes coming in from places that came out heavily for Zohran Mamdani. Right now, we are going to go to Adlin Jackson, who is in Astoria via phone. Why? Because the vibes are so good right now on Steinway Street. They've knocked out Adlin Jackson's video capabilities, and he's joining us now by phone. Adlin, what is the vibe right now on Steinway Street?
Oh my God, the human ears can't
yeah,
hear,
it's just
can't hear
it's
how
like
fun it
so
is.
beyond. He's
Words
he's,
can't even explain.
Yeah, the vibes are at a frequency we can't even find out yet. So hopefully we will get Adlin Jackson at a later time. If we could see those graphics of the results one more time up on the big board, because I think it really shows just how many people voted in this election. It was a huge amount. We are over, I believe, 2 million voters. And I think
if there's one thing the vote tally shows, it is how many people who voted.
So many people voted here. And I think one thing that is interesting to me, at least, is that people once again voted in far higher numbers in the general election than they did in the primary. People who are election watchers in New York City know that the primary is really the game here, and ultimately people, for whatever reason, tune in for the general election.
Oh,
so,
you know who I really want to hear from?
Who do you really want to hear from?
Freaking hankering to hear from.
Yeah.
Everybody's favorite outgoing comptroller, Brad Lander. Thank you, God. Chris Robbins is with him now at Zohran Mamdani's Brooklyn Paramount party. Let's kick it to Chris. And, he's just a guy I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, Mr. Brad Lander. He's coming to us shortly. Brad Lander. No one is getting nervous at the sight of Brad Lander. Here he is, folks.
Oh, my goodness. Hi. How's it going?
Yeah, take it from here, Chris.
Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But there's someone else I want to hear from.
Yeah, we can hear you, Chris. Oh, yeah. Hold that mic close.
All right, excellent. Sorry. I'm here with Comptroller Brad Lander. How are you? How you feeling?
I mean, what a great night. There's so much energy. So many people voted. That's incredible. Zohran's win is big. And such a dark political time. It's amazing to feel this much hope.
What do you think, like the top 2 or 3 things Zohran needs to do right now to enact his agenda? What are his big obstacles? What do you see are the sort of things he should be doing to enact a very
an ambitious agenda? And look, with Donald Trump and Stephen Miller and Elon Musk piling on Andrew Cuomo's worst self, it's a critical time. So stand up a great government with a first-rate team that's ready on day one. Stay focused on the affordability agenda, like the fight for universal child care starts right now in Albany, and bring us together to stand up to Trump, because when he sends in those troops, it's not Donald Trump versus Zohran Mamdani. Donald Trump versus New York City, and we got to win that together.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, are you going to be part of that team in this new administration, or what are your...
It's a big team, so, we'll see. There's a lot of ways to serve and a lot of ways to be an ally.
Okay, and one more thing on the housing ballot props. I believe they all passed. How do you think that fits into Mamdani's housing agenda?
Yeah, this is great. It gives him the tools to build more affordable housing, including in parts of the city that have resisted it for generations.
Okay. Comptroller Bodland?
Comptroller Brad Lander coming to you live from the Zohran Mamdani victory party.
One more thing I got to say, though, is that I still think the Hellgate debate was better than the solo Hellgate forum.
Okay, thank you, Comptroller. You heard it from the man. Katie, Max, back to you.
All right.
All
Thanks
right.
so much.
Thank you, Chris.
Wow. A little negged there by Brad Lander, but you know what? We'll take it. We're little piggies.
I have chills. I have chills.
Brad, we've got comments on the YouTube channel. Inshallah, you will be reincarnated as a congressman. We will find out what's next for Brad Lander. Yeah. Obviously, a lot of chatter after the cross endorsement about him being a part of the Mamdani administration, which is a real thing that's actually happening, which we need to get our heads around. But
so
somebody
crazy.
who needs to get their head around defeat is Andrew Cuomo, and we have Nick standing by at Cuomo HQ.
Nick.
He's moved. Nick, oh my God, Cuomo is still not out there. He says ready on day one. It's like day... He'll never have a day one.
It's day fucking 365,
yeah.
dude. Get your ass on stage.
What's the vibes?
You guys missed it. A minute ago, they were playing "We Didn't Start the Fire" over the ballroom sound system. There's a certain amount of cope going on. I was just talking to two young gentlemen with slicked back hair who presented themselves to me as nightlife magnates who are organizing a campaign to ban Curtis Sliwa from bars and restaurants in the city.
Oh,
and
let me know.
But they've already pivoted to this is a good thing because Trump is going to invade New York City, and you know those arrests are going to be federal. People are going to be fucked, and you know like all the rampant voter fraud that got us here is those people are going to finally meet their just desserts. So that's some curdling going on, I guess I would say.
Seems like it might be snowing over at Cuomo's election night party. I don't know. some interesting conditions.
So yeah, some interesting thoughts. Nick, we want to toss it to a video that you sent in to us from the restroom at the Cuomo watch party. So you can't see this, but hopefully, this will show up, and we'll be able to show. Here we go.
All eyes on me.
All eyes. There we go. This is the urinal, and there's a slow pan.
I'm so scared.
Oh my! And there's Cuomo, ready on day one. Wow, incredible footage. Nick, this fucking rocks.
Oh man, Hellgate gets behind the scenes. That's really good.
So Nick, you're saying that the people at the Cuomo party were not actually concerned about the well-being of New Yorkers, and the second that they lost, they were essentially calling for the end of federalism and the expansion of the executive into taking over the streets of New York.
I mean, if you're gonna put it like that, sure. Yeah. Two guys I talked to, but
Nick, where is he? Where is Andrew Cuomo?
Beats me, man. At the primary party that I covered, he did eventually come out and make sort of a grudging and extremely hedged concession speech. Is that going to happen tonight?
Legendary run.
I don't know. I haven't been able to find anyone who can tell me. A lot of people are hanging out clearly with the expectation that he's going to say something, but no sign of it yet.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing some tweets come across here. Council member Ina Vernikov just tweeted, "Welcome to the USSR." Nick, you're pretty good on this stuff. What is the level of crash out that we're about to see from the conservative right wing and even some sectors of liberal society in New York City?
Well, yeah, I mean, clearly everyone is going to be wallowing tonight and tomorrow, but I feel like in pretty short order people are going to pull themselves up by their pants. Or what do you pull yourselves up by? They're going to pull themselves up.
Yeah, sure, pants.
And they're going to figure out how to rat fuck this new administration. So, I feel like these are capable people. They will get on with the business when they get over this.
Buildings to develop, you know.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
All right. So Nick, thank you so much. We have a little, maybe a text update from Astoria, from Adlin, for you to chew on, perhaps. So, in contrast to the party you're currently attending, over on Steinway Street, motorcycles are revving, Palestine flags are waving, people are in the streets. It is revenge of the woke.
Yeah.
It's so, we're so back, Pronouns are going back in that fucking bio, man.
I could tell what happened to Adlin is that he just tossed that phone straight into the East River and just started partying. And that's, we knew that was a real possibility. Let's look at some of the results. Wait, we have an update.
Oh shit!
Proposal 1 is now winning.
All right, it's because we bitched it.
Yeah, we made that happen. So now let's look at some of the other ballot proposals as we get an update right here in my ear. Zohran Mamdani has now crossed over all votes in the election has now been over 2 million votes.
Oh my goodness.
57.82% of those was yes on number 2. This holds for all of the other affordable housing ballots. Number 3, 56%. Number 4, 58%. Now let's get to the maps. Maps absolutely crushing it. Yeah, 73. Gotta digitize those maps.
Je suis 27.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And number 6, this is to move local elections to presidential election years. No, that means that Hellgate is going to be able to report on elections literally all the fucking time, and it rules because we love doing that and you love watching it.
Also, thank you, God. I didn't want to have to cover national politics.
No,
what the fuck?
presidential race so boring.
No,
hate
okay,
it.
thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for everybody figuring this one out.
All right, so things are getting hot and heavy, you guys. We are going to take our final break of the evening. Parting is going to be such sweet sorrow, but don't go anywhere yet. This is still, and will, I already said this, continue to be the Hellgate Election Night live stream. I'm still Katie, he's still Max. Keep your butts in your seats. Or keep
Scott Lynch. I'm hungry all the time, and I never know where in New York City I'm going to be. So every week I check out a new restaurant, I write about it, and add it to Hellgate's $20 dinner map. I love New York City so much. I love checking out both brand new and totally legendary restaurants all over town. And I love sharing my favorite spots with all my friends here on Hellgate. Best city in the world, baby.
So wherever you are, if you're looking for a place with really good food and then friendly people for a price that's nice, check out the $20 dinner map, only on Hellgate. Ooh.
What is up, everybody? We are back for one last dispatch at the Hellgate Election Night live stream. I am warmly yours, Katie Way, here with...
Coldly yours, Max. I'm fucking frigid.
All right, we are going to cut right to the chase and check back in with Chris Robbins, our correspondent at Zohran Mamdani's now, let's call it a victory party. Chris, what? Oh, he's moving and grooving. What's going on, Chris?
How's it going?
Max, Katie, the music's bumping. They're showing the weird Knicks logo that Trump just posted where it says Trump is your president, but it's the Knicks logo. I don't know. People made some noise.
Can you pan to
it's,
that? We don't
it's a
know
party
about that.
Can we get a hat? Can we get a hat wobble?
A hat wobble? Wait, what?
You're moving. You're dancing. You're vibing here, man.
Oh yeah, sorry. Look, we're right next to the speakers, and I can't help myself.
Totally, I get that. All right, so again, describe the mood. You talked to Brad. You know, I'm sure everyone is really feeling it. What's the vibe like, Chris?
Everyone's feeling really good. Brad's doing another interview right there. I mean, I think everyone wants to celebrate this moment. Obviously, I do think it's going to be super interesting the next month and a half on how Mamdani built his team, right? Like, does Jessica Tisch accept his rose? Does she spurn him? Will the establishment forces that have tried to tank his candidacy, double down and keep pushing? And will the press give him the sort of honeymoon period that Eric Adams got in 2022, where for 3 or 4 months, Eric Adams was the future of the Democratic Party. He was the Biden of Brooklyn. All of this is to come, and I think people here, it's a lot of reporters and a lot of muckety-mucks. So they're thinking about these things, but right now people are just cracking beers and opening $5 bags of chips and having a great time.
And Chris, how are you feeling at the end of this election cycle? Obviously, you have been covering this entire race. It's been a year now for all of us. You and Max were involved in, what was a super instrumental scoop for Hellgate, but also something that got brought up again and again, Cuomo's famous ChatGPT housing policy incident. What is this moment like for you at the end of it all?
I think this is definitely the most interesting and consequential mayoral campaign I've ever covered. I mean, you look at the vote totals, more people voted in this election than both de Blasio elections, the first. I mean, it's a magnitude greater, and that's interesting. And yeah, I mean, all Hellgate has known so far is Mayor Eric Adams. What is the tenor going to be with Mayor Mamdani? How is he going to treat us and the rest of the City Hall press corps? How is that relationship going to deteriorate, and how quickly? Because we're gonna cover him, rigorously and skeptically, like any other man. So, yeah, I mean, I'm super proud of what we've accomplished. I'm proud of you guys for doing this live stream. I'm thirsty, I'm tired, and maybe a little hungry. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
But you're coming after us, right?
Yeah, well.
I don't know where the afters are. Someone's got to text me.
We'll text you. We're not gonna.
We can't say that on
you're not gonna say it on the live stream.
No offense to our viewers. All right, well, thank you so much, Chris. Always an absolute pleasure. Any final notes?
No, I don't think if I had to bet, he's probably going to come on a little before 11. So if you need to take a bathroom break or do what you got to do, I think you probably have some time.
And do what you got to do. Amen, brother.
After the live stream ends in a few minutes, you are not allowed to use the bathroom until then.
No, hold it.
Yeah. Like us. All right. Thanks so much, Chris. All right, so folks, I know we lost our correspondent Adlin earlier in the night to the celebrations on Steinway Street, but folks, we have some live looks of footage from Steinway Street in Astoria right now, where things are getting pretty litty. Let's roll the tape.
Again, FOMO.
Nice. We are not able to get sound, but that's people in Mocha & Co. on Steinway Street. And then outside the cafe, look at all of the people. Pretty awesome scene. People taken to the streets. So that's great to see. Folks, we have a few more final poll results for you to share coming up here. This is where we're at right now.
Damn, 1 million votes.
Zohran Mamdani holding pretty steady at 50 percent. Cuomo at 41%. This is probably where we are going to end up. Zohran Mamdani breaks 50%. And wait, just in, we've got word about Andrew Cuomo. Some interesting new outcomes that we're seeing just now. Could we take a look at that, folks? Let's put that full screen. Embarrassed. Mandate of hell. Oh, no. Damn,
Oh.
sucks to be Andrew Cuomo
Dude,
tonight.
sucks to
Damn,
suck.
yeah.
Always does, always will.
All right, folks. Well, we've had a blast at Hellgate's second election night live stream. Thank you so much for spending the time with us. Why not keep the party going and subscribe to Hellgate to read our written coverage, because we're actually really good writers as well, and tune into our podcast, hang out at our subscriber-only events, and generally support independent, worker-owned coverage on the cusp of a new administration in New York City. Some final thoughts from me. This campaign that we just witnessed ending was waged by a 34-year-old immigrant New Yorker that was based on a positive vision of New York City after 4 years of what we reported on as corrupt rule, predicated on the idea of a tacitly fallen city that needed disciplining and reinvention. Instead, what we were able to report on was a vision of New York City that embraced its diversity, its contradictions, its polyglot, sometimes messy overlaps, and one that was worthy of not only revival, but celebration. It's not the greatest city in the world because of its excess, its unabashed form of shameless capitalism, but because of the people that make it work. People that we report on. People that made it a beacon to the world for people from all over the world. Immigrants, people from the global south, people left behind in other countries. In defeat, Andrew Cuomo will go down as kind of an embarrassing guy. A man whose egomania and need for power at all costs was finally enough to squander one of the great brands in democratic politics, a father whose own perceived commitment to the working class was revered on the level that is now being enjoyed by Zohran Mamdani. Because of the exceptionalism of New York City, Mamdani's victory will rightly echo far beyond the 5 boroughs. And certainly a fascistic presidential administration will seek to push every pain point possible for the new mayor, who will inherit a city budget reeling from budget cuts from DC and face off an executive-run police force that has already brought terror to several American cities. It is an impossible position that Mamdani will find himself in. He will absolutely stumble, make unforced errors, and there's a high likelihood he will not be able to move the needle much further than other progressive administrations. And make no mistake, Hellgate will be a relentless chronicler of the muck that suffuses City Hall, no matter the administration. But New Yorkers didn't vote for Mamdani because they thought the vision of the city he elucidated and fought for during the campaign is something ineffable or doomed, or that only one person can save it. They voted for him because he described a place that they know and love and desperately do not want to abandon. Mamdani is not alone in facing what's coming. Over 1 million voters in tonight's election made that clear. And what happens next is up to them. Hellgate is Nick Pinto, Adlin Jackson, Chris Robbins, Esther Wong, Jesse Edwards, Katie Way, and me, Max Rivlin Nadler. Nadia Tykolsker is our operations manager. Rick Paulus is our marketing and external relations manager. Our opening voiceover was by the legendary Rick Lamb. We posted that online. Please watch our opening. Our wonderful Scott Hines, who filmed this and directed this, was an incredible team player here. This live stream was produced by Ramka Hogwarts, Brad Bloom, Jacob King, and Katie Braswell. Our production assistants were Levi Langley, Liv Veazey, Paige Omick, and Anna Oakes. Tonight's beautiful graphics were designed, as always, by Partner and Partners, our wonderful web designers and graphic design comrades, and we have live production by Lulu Johnson. Special thanks to Life World for hosting, and to Nick Curran, Zoe Gonick, Scott Lynch, and thanks again to Rick Lamb and all of the venues across New York City that showed the election this evening. We will see you out in the real world.
Good night.
Good night.